Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex. What if I told you that you could get extra crystals every week and all you had to do was a lot of work and have a pretty juiced up roster? Would you call me a liar? No, but you'd probably fall asleep while I'm explaining it. Well, anyways, I'm going to explain it to you anyways. This is essentially why is Alex trying so hard in Timeline Battle this week? And the reason for that is I decided that I got to bring you guys some extra content. In fact, some content that I have never done before. No, really, it's called Challenger League Timeline. We've never actually seen behind the veil of what Timeline Battle Challenger is really all about. There's not that much to it. I'm not hyping it up to be some sort of like amazing piece of content that you definitely want to get to, but I am going to try to show you what it is. But first, I have to get on Thursday, so between now and Thursday, I have to keep grinding Timeline Battle in order to stay in the top 25 of Vibranium. Now, when I said at the beginning that you could get more crystals, basically what I'm referring to is if you are in the top 100 of any of the ranks at the end of the week, at the end of the weekly cycle, which resets every Thursday, then you will get extra crystals. As you can see here, if I'm in the top 1%, literally rank 101 or low or higher, I will get 220 crystals. But if I'm in the top 100, suddenly it doubles. If I'm in the top 50, it gets to 875. I actually haven't spent my own crystals yet, okay? But I'll explain everything that I'm doing, and it does rely on using the shield support. So you either spend your own crystals here, or you have to buy the shield support, which costs $15 for me for 2 weeks, and it's going to give you an extra refresh every day. So instead of having 10 fights per day, I get 20 fights per day, which is why after 3 days, right, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, I fought 60 times instead of 30 times. And then basically you just have to fight a bunch. Now, you can actually replicate this strategy in any other league, okay? Even like, I'm talking even Bronze League. And there are some players that will purposely not play Timeline Battle for a couple of weeks to get knocked down. And then they will, in their lower league, they will dominate it for a profit. So you don't necessarily get extra crystals every week, and sometimes if you do the math, it might have just been better to stay in Vibranium. But let's take this for example. Let's say you're in Platinum. Let's say you can't get to Vibranium, but you're in Platinum, and you're just steady getting that 1% reward, 150 crystals, 150 crystals, 150 crystals a week, right? That's an easy math there. That's 300 crystals every 2 weeks. That's 600 crystals a month. Not very much. Okay, what if you didn't play in Platinum, so you got like the lowest possible reward, you got 60 crystals instead, right? So you lost 110 crystals, but then they bump you down to gold, and now in gold you can manage to hit top 100. Let's just say the difficulty of the opponents is so much worse, and you can play so much more that you can hit that. So now you've got the 250 plus the 60, that's 310. So in 2 weeks you've actually profited only 10 crystals. Yeah, I know it's not very much, but basically you didn't have to play Timeline Battle for one of those 2 weeks. So, you know, it's got its pros and its cons. Anyways, there are some players, I'm not doing the best job of explaining it here because I haven't tried this obviously at lower levels, but there are some players that can do this very well. Like, let's say you can get rank 1 in Silver League. That's still 1500 crystals, right? So if you can just hit that once a month, let's say you don't play Timeline Battle at all for 3 weeks, but then once a month for 1 week, you go all out in Silver, you hit rank 1. That's 1500 crystals. That's more than if you were steady getting 1% in Platinum, the top 1% in Platinum, right? It's a lot more. It's even more than if I'm getting steady 1% in Vibranium. In Vibranium, it's only 880. So you kind of see what I'm saying here. So basically, that's what you can do to get more crystals. It's not a very easy strategy. It's obviously difficult. You obviously have to plan it out. You obviously have to do a lot of things. Some of the things I'm going to explain now in what I'm doing for Timeline Battle. But on top of that, you also have to stop playing and then knock yourself down. So it's not really for everyone, right? Some players just want to play. They want to get it over with. They just want to auto it and close their eyes or whatever. But for those of you who maybe want to try and play the system a little bit, because there is room to play the system, you can do that. Now, what am I doing specifically? I know it took me almost 5 minutes to get into this. What am I doing to get into the top 25 besides throwing some money at the game with the shield support. Keep in mind, the shield support, I'm not trying to advertise it here, but I don't just buy it for the refreshes. Like, it does a lot of other things for me: uniform XP, extra gold from dimension missions, yada yada yada. So it's not like a, you know, I'm not spending $15 for some refreshes in timeline. But anywho, so the first thing that I did when I decided that I was gonna go this week for top 25 for Vibranium was that one of the recommended characters is a character that I really like playing in PvP, and a character that I also think is strong. So I think that's kind of the first thing. You want to give yourself some sort of artificial advantage. Not artificial, like you want to give yourself some sort of finite advantage, right? Every player only gets 4 characters recommended here in this. I don't know why it's not showing me. And if you know, every player only gets 4 random characters recommended, and if you get a really good character like Sentry or Doctor Doom or, you know, whatever, like a dominant character, then that's an extra 5 points. That's an extra 5 points for your first 5 battles that you win using that character, and then that's every single day. So that's 25 points a day over the course of, you know, almost well, over the course of a little bit more than a week. It's actually 8 because of well, the reset. Yeah, it should be 8. Yeah, you play Thursday twice. Yeah, so it's like 200 extra points just from that, right? 200 points. You can see here, like less than 100 points separates rank 1 and rank 2. So if at the end of the week Super Chalk has not, let's say this was the end of the week now, Super Chalk didn't have any recommended characters and Holy Bang did, that could be the difference between Super Chalk getting number 1 and Super Chalk getting number 2. And then if you look, that's actually the difference between getting 3,500 crystals and getting 1,750. That's a humongous difference, right? So keep an eye on, especially when you want to push in PvP, keep an eye on the recommended list. So that's the first thing I do, okay? The second thing I do is you have to schedule the way that you play, or you have to schedule when you play timeline battle around the rest of your day. What that means is, I know that the daily reset is at 11 a.m. for me, right? 11 a.m. my time. So whenever the daily reset is for you, you should be playing timeline battle. And this goes for, like, if you're pushing to get top 25 Vibranium, or you're pushing to get top 1 in Bronze League, whatever it is, right? You should be playing as close to the daily reset as you can. Now, obviously, you don't want to miss fights, so you don't want to play like 5 minutes before the reset, because then you're not going to get your 10 battles in. But you want to play like an hour before the reset, or you know, if you can squeeze it in 45 minutes before the reset, because that's when there's going to be the biggest point gap between you and the top players. And essentially what I'm doing is I'm just going to be refreshing here. I'll show you guys, for example, I'm refreshing until I see the maximum number of points, which should be 83. 83 should be the highest for me because it's 79 plus, actually it should be 84. It's 79 plus 5 points for the recommended character. So it should actually be 74. I don't know if I'm going to be able to find a 74. There may not be that big of a gap. So, and what I also do is I look at the number of points, like 61. The highest guys here are 63. So if I'm seeing a 63 and it's not more than 83, then I know that I can't get to 84. I believe, or maybe 70, maybe 83 is the highest. Maybe 78 is the highest plus the 5. I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember if it's 83 or 84. But anyways, you want to maximize. It's gonna cost you some gold, obviously. You want to maximize the amount of gold that you're getting here. I think I just passed Super Chalk and he was 83. So yeah, okay, so this is the number. So it helps if you can find the number 1 player, because then that'll tell you the maximum number of points that you can be getting for each one of your fights. So here we go. I found Super Chalk. They're number 1. 83 points is the max. I obviously don't want to face Super Chalk in this case, but obviously it's going to depend on who is at the top. So what you can do is you can either scout them by refreshing, or you can scout them by looking, and you basically just want to look for an easy team. Like this team seems pretty easy, this Korean player's team, because Captain America is not very good for PvP, and then he's just using Ebony and Sentry. So I can abuse the fact that he's using Ebony by not using universals on my team. So he's basically just fighting me with a Sentry and a Captain America, and he's got no buffs. So I'm basically stripping the Ebony buff from him. So let's say if I use the Defenders team, for example, great counter here to the Sentry team, because Luke Cage and Daredevil can take care of Sentry, Daredevil can take care of Ebony Maw, and Luke Cage can easily reflect Captain America to death. So I could fight this guy over and over and over again, and this is sort of the cheese strategy of it. But you're basically just hunting for the highest player. I'm gonna fight this guy here, but you're basically just searching for the highest player that you can fight who has the easiest team, and then you're just re-rolling for them over and over and over to get the most number of points every single time. This is the safest way to play. Obviously you can play another way, you can play a different way. I'm actually going to play manually as well. Obviously you can play a different way. You can play just straight up, you can auto your fights to have a more authentic experience, but you're not going to win in that case. Most of the time you're not going to win because there's just too much RNG, there's too much variance. Even the best players will lose fights on auto. So what you want to do if you're really pushing for it is you want to you know, give yourself every single advantage possible. Wow, I almost killed Silver Surfer just from the lingering damage on that. That's crazy. He did not trigger my artifact either. Wow. Okay, we're gonna get this. So the last thing you need to do after you've done everything else, right? So you've planned your it's really annoying that he keeps popping that. You've planned your day around playing timeline battle at the most optimum time. You've got a strong team. I sort of skipped over the part where you need to have a strong meta team, right? You need to have the defenders, you need to have Dr. Doom set up, Sentry set up, you know, etc. You got to have Colossus and Ebony Maw. So I've skipped all that part. You have to have good cards with HP and stuff like that. I've skipped that stuff. But anywho, after that, and after you've, you know, set up your schedule so that you can play this very, very close to the daily reset, then you also have to, you know, discipline yourself to always go after the highest statted opponent, the most points, and then basically just farm them over and over and over up to 20 or 30 times per day. So see now, this player's only giving me 82, so now I actually have to go and hunt for an 83. And you might think 1 point is not a big difference, and you're right, it's not. But if you do that, if you settle for someone that's 1 point less for all your fights, like if I had done that 60 times already, because I've already fought 60 times, that's 60 points. So that 1 point is not that much in a vacuum, but over the course of the week, if you're, you know, I'm going to be logging over 100 fights, it's a lot of points. So you want to discipline yourself. Okay, Holy Bang is 83 points, but Holy Bang honestly scares me. I think he has a really strong team, and you don't want to put yourself in a position where you might lose, right? So in that case, you want to, and what you can do if you're not sure, if you're not confident you can beat them, is you can always just simulate it, right? So I can simulate my fight here against Holy Bang. Let's see. I could make this team a little bit more toxic by putting what's his name? Okay, he triggered my okay, this is really bad. He triggered my artifact really early. Okay, yeah, got him. I think I got him again. Oh, I didn't get him. Okay, I think I might lose here. Okay, we still have to kill Sentry twice. This is gonna be kind of tricky. Okay. Oh, his Sentry's got some juice on him. Oh, I walked into that. That was really bad. Don't want to walk into Sentry's. What happened? Oh my god, bro, this game is rigged. This is so rigged. Wow, okay, so I got super lucky there, but I was pressing Dr. Doom's 5th and nothing was happening. See? This is terrifying. Imagine if you're going for a specific rank or you're trying to win all your games and you just queue up out of the blue against the player and then they just beat you, right? Like even one loss could be the difference between me being in the top 25 and not being in the top 25. I know it seems like it doesn't really matter. It's like, whatever, Alex, just play the game. But if you're really going for something, if you're being competitive, if you're trying to push yourself, if you're trying to challenge for this top spot, it really does matter. Because if I lose here, like let's say I lose against this guy, not only do I lose the 83 points, I don't get them, but I also lose 5 points. So it's actually a loss of 88 points, which is massive. It's more than 2 wins, especially because the higher you climb, the fewer points you get. I can't really show you guys here because I'd have to like fast forward like 30 minutes, but basically what I'm going to be doing now for the next couple of hours is I'm going to be slowly refreshing and slowly climbing, doing one fight at a time as I get closer and closer to the daily reset, and I should climb to, you know, I should honestly climb back into the top 10. And so basically the idea is, you know, I let myself drop throughout the day while other people play and while they rack up points. And as they rack up points, they are giving me better opponents to fight. Whereas when they fought earlier in the day, there weren't as many good opponents, right? Because there always has to be someone at the top. There always has to be someone with the highest gap of points. So if every player in Vibranium top 100 did this, it would be pretty hilarious. I would honestly like to see that, because then it'd be a mad scramble at the reset to get good fights in, and you'd really see like there'd be more luck involved and more RNG. But this is basically all you have to do. Now, for those people that are wondering if these rules apply for Challenger, yes and no. Some of the rules apply for Challenger, some of them don't. Challenger's a little bit different because you basically have to fight the first opponent you're given. There is no refreshing wheel. And I honestly think this is something that they should adopt for all the other timeline battle leagues, where you just the first opponent you get, that's who you have to fight. And then they calculate the points differently, because the way they calculate the points right now, just being based on the gap, it encourages you to spend gold to refresh, which is dumb, and it encourages you to play very late in the daily reset, which again is also kind of dumb. There should be an incentive for playing earlier or playing sooner in that case, right? They honestly shouldn't calculate the points based on the difference in points, because it just doesn't make sense. They did this back in the day as a gold sink, as a way to like waste people's gold. And I understand that, but nowadays this doesn't waste any gold, and they have a lot of other good gold sinks like artifacts and, you know, crafting and stuff like that. So they don't necessarily need this at all. I'm probably going to be hunting Tom, to be honest. Sorry, Tom, but his team is probably a little bit easier for me to tackle, especially with Molecule Man. My Wolverine can tank his Molecule Man. Let me show you guys. But yeah, so this is basically how it works for Challenger. Yeah, it's a little bit different, like I said, because you need to fight essentially the first opponent you get. You can refresh your opponent, but it costs the support tokens, and you need those support tokens to buy the buffs, which is why I'm saying that you basically can't that's why I'm saying you basically can't okay, you basically can't refresh your opponent. But yeah, Wolverine just handles Sentry, man. So good, so good. Oh, that's weird. My third skill keeps getting interrupted, but he just finished him with the 5 anyways. And then we can finish Ebony here with the tier 3. Boom. So yeah, this is basically what I've been doing for the past 3 days. I wake up, I make a YouTube video, I chill for a couple of hours until about 10 a.m. Eastern, and then I start hunting for people to battle. Yesterday, I fought MFF Doom. I don't know if he's still here in the top 100, but I fought him like 20 times in a row, because he was the number 2 ranked player and his team was less scary than the other people around him in terms of countering my team. But another thing that I left out that you honestly do want to do is, if the person that you're hunting for and that you're fighting over and over again has a particular team, build a counter team, right? And I sort of mentioned that when I said, you know, against, not this team, but against this team here, no, not that team. Against this team here, the defenders would be a great counter, but you can do whatever you want. Like, you could basically put Sentry, Dr. Doom, and Jean Grey, right? So you use your Sentry and your Dr. Doom to take down their Sentry and their Ebony Maw, and then when Jean Grey is left against their Captain America, that's a guaranteed win every single time. There's no way Captain America is beating Jean Grey, especially with the fact that he's doing elemental damage now and she has high elemental resist, that sort of thing. So yesterday I swapped Jean Grey onto my team because MFF Doom had Wolverine on his team and I didn't want to lose his Wolverine. I needed like a safeguard, right? Like an insurance policy. The last thing that I didn't really cover necessarily, but it sort of goes without saying, is the ace point bonus. As much as you can, every single fight you want to try and clear their entire team with the same character. So that's why when I switch to Wolverine, it's do or die. I either wipe his whole team with Wolverine or my Wolverine dies. I'm not going to switch out my Wolverine and save him and then try to finish the fight with Dr. Doom, because there's no bonus in that. But if I can get all the kills with Wolverine, even if Wolverine dies, if everyone on his team dies as well from like lingering damage, I will still get the ace point bonus even though Wolverine is dead. And the ace point bonus is worth 5 points every single match. And again, that adds up, right? If I can do that 10 times today or 20 times, that's an extra 50 or that's an extra 100 points. It's a huge benefit. So the recommended character is huge because it's an extra 25 points a day. And then the ace point bonus is huge. And of course, it goes without saying, you always refresh for the highest possible points per win, which is either 80, 83, 83. You'll aim for like 82, 83. You can't necessarily always get. See, like it's already down from 83 to 82 for Tom, but I'll take the 82 because he's rank 4, right? So he's not that far off, and Super Chalk is only going to give me 82 anyways. And I'd much rather fight Tom, much more consistent opponent, than fight this dude with this scary team. So yeah, that's basically it. That's basically what I've been doing, and that's what I'm sort of focusing my time on. And that's also why, in case those of you are wondering, I cannot bring you a Wolverine ABX video, because I'm actually using him right now in PvP. I'm having a lot of fun with that. So hopefully this will, I sort of turned this Challenger video into 2, because I'm showing you the before and hopefully the after, but hopefully I'll be able to show you guys what Challenger is like next week during the Eternals update part 1. It should be interesting. And yeah, we can sort of talk about the pros and cons of that. Not that you should necessarily go for it, because it's a lot of work for, I don't think it's very much. But yeah, it'll be interesting nonetheless to see, especially since it's been months since it came out and I haven't seen what's on the other side and what the sort of UI and stuff looks like. So yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Actually, I'll see you tonight on Twitch for the live stream, the Cajun Kim live stream. Hit me up. My name's Turbo. Hit me up. Anyways, take care.